Today is Thursday, September 6, 2018. It's MMA Junkie Radio's pre-show, the show before the show. I'm Goes, that's Dan, that's Juan Lee, that's Danny Okers, the voice you hear in your head.
That me.
Jessie Jess is on her way.
She late.
She said she's here, though.
There it is.
Is she?
Yeah, her timeline is not making any sense.
Is she sending you incoherent messages or something, or what?
She just sent me a message that said, it's at the MGM Sportsbook, which we're going to talk about when she gets here.
Oh, yeah, we are.
And then she said, all right, I'm stuck in traffic. I'm going to be
She's
there a
just
couple
throwing
after
everything.
10. And then she just said, I'm here. She went from not knowing where she's at to being in the right place.
Liar.
Aren't you a Vegas local? It's like a general idea by now.
I bet you she probably thought this place was the MGM, and she went to the right place and called it the wrong thing.
I've had a couple people do it, but there's... I don't know if I should say who. There was one fighter that I think did it on purpose to buy time because he had drank some alcoholic beverages the night before. Juan Lee has an old school MMA Junkie Radio shirt on.
Yeah, he does. I was going to comment on that. That's awesome.
Those are the first ones we had.
Because I remember wearing this to 104 Shogun Machida.
Yeah?
I got the second pressing, I think, the blue with the black one.
No, I have the
blue and black.
Yeah, the one I wore last
Not
time.
a lot of people have that one.
That's the one I wore last time I came here.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's the one I wore.
Yeah, you did. You did. I remember that. Yep.
I took the pic with Dan right after.
They came out after those ones, though, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Man, going back in time. 104.
Shogun Machida.
Machida, LA.
Or I thought
You guys are coming up in a minute.
Yeah, we are.
Right.
Danny, say something.
Something.
Yeah, I knew it.
Danny, date something.
You're no good. Dan, you say something.
Coming up in a minute.
So you guys want to talk about movies?
Popping off tonight.
Yeah, popping off. All right, there we go.
Popping off tonight. Yeah.
Where can they find it?
Popping off tonight. It's weird to try to find. I'll post about it. It's much easier. I posted the link.
That's what she said.
It'll be 8 p.m. Eastern, though. So.
Okay.
Juan Lee knows it.
Yeah.
He's there. He hangs out.
Thank you.
He can hang.
He can hang.
Parlay?
Coming up in 30.
Yeah. All right. Coming up in 30, George. Hey, Juan Lee, can you do me a favor? Do you mind throwing that away? Thanks. Thanks for coffee. Juan Lee brought at Starbucks. I didn't say that to her because I didn't bring any for George. I just realized it. I didn't want to throw it.
Why'd you just advertise?
Coming up
that?
at 10. Stand
That's why
by.
I said it so loud and then so
I was
soft.
just about to ask who throws people under the bus more, but I think your tally just went up a little bit.
He's the king of it. Well,
The fight metrics like this goes.
yeah.
We are making our descent into Las Vegas McCarran Airport. On behalf of our crew, we'd like to thank you for flying MMA Junkie Airlines. Now please fasten your seatbelts and put your tray tables in your upright position because the descent is going to be a little bit bumpy.
Alright, Junkie Nation, it's time to roll, baby, on MMA Junkie Radio with Gorgeous George and Go. This is what we doing while we do it, baby. All night long, we rollin'! Yeah!
The MMA Junkie Radio revolution is upon us.
Can you dig it?
There's no escape. No escape. Through the vast frontier of cyberspace and through a sea of stars in outer space.
One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
We've solidified our combat communications stranglehold.
We are controlling transmission.
With the use of MMA Junkie Radio and SiriusXM satellite radio technology. MMA Junkie Radio. Commence transmission. Live from MMA Junkie Radio HQ in the fight capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada. Here are your hosts, Gorgeous George and Goes.
From the fight capital of the world inside the beautiful Mandalay Bay Race and Sportsbook, you are listening to the MMA Junkie Radio Show, the only show that matters. I'm your host, Gorgeous George. With me as always is the devious and dastardly Goes. Ari's co-host, to my left, it's the fight analyst, Dan Tom. Becky's handling all the producing duties, Danny Otto. Our special co-host for the day, when she arrives, will be Jessica Rose Clark, UFC flyweight. Shout out to Juan Lee from the 626, representing. As always, Pasadena. No. Hold on. It's not Pasadena. It's Rosemead, right?
Yeah.
Rosemead. Yeah. I know he's from that area, but I've known Juan Lee for a long time, so it's good to have him in studio. Was he part of the pre-show?
A little bit, yeah.
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 Is he a black belt yet?
In pre-shows?
No, in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Not yet, right?
Still a brown?
In pre-shows.
Is anyone a black belt in pre-shows?
Not me.
You know, maybe like Julian Marquez is probably pretty close.
Yeah.
He's done a few.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we're getting close, guys. Tonight is the opener, the NFL opener. It features last year's champion, the Philadelphia Eagles, against the Atlanta Falcons. It's just one game on a Thursday. It's something the NFL's done now for about 15 years, if I had to guess. And then, of course, on Sunday, all of the games start. 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. The NFL season will officially be underway, and I am pumped up. Want to welcome to the show Jessica Rose Clark. Hello, Jessica. How you doing?
Hi, I'm good. Sorry I'm late.
It's okay.
I stopped to get cheese so we can have Vegemite and cheese today.
You stopped to get cheese?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We're going to eat Vegemite and cheese.
Where's the cheese?
Never had
It's in my
Vegemite.
bag.
Oh.
I brought Vegemite and cheese, and I think Dan brought crackers.
I bought butter, too. I don't know if you wanted that or not.
Oh, this thing's going down. I thought you were just messing around.
No, we planned it the other day.
Prepared, yeah.
Yep.
Vegemite.
Yeah.
What is it exactly?
Oh, boy.
It's like a yeast paste. it's good. I like it. One of my housemates liked it. One of them hated it. It's kind of, you Americans are like 50-50 on it.
I have a feeling I might be a hater.
It's salty.
Because I'm picky, and I don't have a... My palate is very narrow. Like, I just like certain things. So Goes has a good chance of probably liking it, as does Dan. But I don't know. I'm scared a little. But the other day I had escargot, and it wasn't bad.
That?
How was it?
Yeah.
It wasn't bad. It was pretty good.
I don't think I could bring myself to try it, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. That and frog's legs or crickets, no. Only like snake, gator, stuff like that.
I've had gator. And
I'd eat horse. I was talking about eating horse meat the other day.
You did have it?
No, I haven't. I want it.
Were you hanging out with Al Strawberry?
I was not.
Oh, okay.
I was not.
How'd
I don't want
this?
any of the horse meat that he's eating.
How'd you come across?
No, we were talking about going to some country. I can't even remember what country it was, but they were talking about how whatever country it was, we were talking about we'll advertise beef but actually use horse meat instead of beef, and I was like, I'll try horse anyway. Just give me some horse.
Okay, and out of all that, which one do you recommend?
I haven't tried it yet.
Oh, you haven't tried none of those?
No.
Okay.
No, I've had crocodile, kangaroo, bits and pieces, but yeah, they're good. Well, crocodiles, whatever, kind of tastes like eating rubber.
Same as gator, right?
Like it's just. I've had it once, so it was really good, and then every other time I've had it, it's just been like rubber. I think it's really hard to cook. I tried to cook it once, and it was really hard to get it to be good.
So maybe I misheard you. You have had the steaks, or you would have a steak.
I would.
Oh.
As I was saying, I would not eat crickets, escargot, or frog's legs, but I would eat a snake. I'd probably try dog, which sounds terrible because I have dogs, but I'd probably try dog.
No, I couldn't do that.
Strike that.
Just don't tell me it's dog until after I've already eaten it.
I can't do that.
Look, you've been on this planet about a quarter of a century. You're a dog lover.
I am a dog lover.
But
I also think cows are cute, and I eat cows.
They're not that cute.
No, true.
Dogs are really cute.
My housemate keeps trying to convince
Dogs
me to let her put a chicken pen.
That's like saying I'd eat my best friend.
I eat Blue.
We're not cannibals, right?
Actually, that's horrible.
I know.
Are you mad if I texting you now going that I'm not buying you a dog?
Yeah.
You sure?
Stop buying dogs, Jesse.
Yeah, all right. Well, how you doing? We haven't seen you a few months.
Yeah, it's been a little while.
Did you have a nice summer? American summer?
Yeah, I guess it was fine. Like I fought in June and then just moved house, and it's kind of it was alright.
Well, because here in America, when we asked that, we were like, "Hey, what'd you do this summer?" A lot of people go on vacation.
Yeah.
Now I know you fought.
No, I did not.
No, okay.
I did not go on vacation. I went to Singapore, and that was whatever. But yeah. I was in Vegas the whole time. That was like a
5 out of 10?
Yeah, like Singapore was really cool.
Everybody raves about it.
No, Singapore was beautiful. The people were amazing. The food was good. But everything that I went out there with came back smelling really funny. Like there's just I don't know, there's like a gasoline kind of fishy smell in the air. Like I have a leather satchel.
Your clothes.
Well, like my leather bag, I have a satchel like Indiana Jones, and it came back. I had to get it like cleaned because it just smelled like
I've
Singapore.
never heard anyone say that. I wonder what happened.
So weird. I don't know. Well, we also went out. We went out on the river. Cowboy went wakeboarding, and I was in the boat. And I think like the water there where we went wakeboarding almost had like a film on top of it. Oh. So I think some of it was from that. But yeah.
And this is a country that's.
You can't litter, no gum.
Yeah, they boast about the cleanliness of it all.
Yeah, that's why it was so bizarre.
I guess the water is maybe a whole different thing.
But it was beautiful, and it was clean, like pristine. All the architecture was amazing, you know. That's my only...
Are you familiar with the rules of littering and spitting? And
Yeah, I don't do that stuff anyway, so it was alright. The only thing is, like, because I chew gum when I'm cutting weight. It's the only time I ever chew gum, and they're like, don't chew gum here, and I still did. I smuggled it all in like a gangster, but, yeah, I, like... didn't stick it to anything.
You love gum that much, you're willing to do that?
Well, when I'm cutting weight, I have a huge weight cut, and it's like the only thing that keeps me kind of sane, you know? It's just gum? Chewing on something. I like bubblegum flavored gum.
Are you popping bubbles and stuff?
Yeah, I like pink, girly, bubblegum flavored stuff.
Why does Ghost keep running off at the beginning of shows all week?
I think he's got a side business that we don't know about, and I think
maybe it's Tinder.
Yeah, it's.
This is the second time you've just run off in the beginning of the show.
Are you on
Tinder?
Tinder?
Take the phone call.
Oh, what did it say again?
The guy that might be in the Hall of Fame of pre-shows.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm sorry, but I was just taking that she's on this mission to go fight, but like her side mission is smuggling bubblegum. It's like reminds me of Snake from Metal Gear Solid, smuggling in cigarettes, but not a gun to do the mission. But that's badass.
So you know, when I was in school, when I was in year 9, I had this one form teacher, like my head teacher, and she was a Nazi with gum. Sorry. She was really...
Oh, that's extra dangerous.
Yep. She was like really, really anal about gum, and she used to call me a gum smuggler because I was always like the dealer for chewing gum.
She smuggled gum into Singapore.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, look at you.
And then I asked a few other people to bring, like, people who were coming over from Australia, because I got one favourite one back home, and I'm like, can you please bring me some of this? And they're like, oh, we don't know if we want to risk it. Like, what are they going to do? They're just going to take it off you at the airport. Like,
dude, they cane people for things.
Yeah.
Well, I'd get punched in the face. Like, maybe I'd be into getting caned.
How gangster would have been, though, like, with the whole teacher thing and, like, you know, just making it to the UFC, that's already, like, a moment for fighters where it's like, look, I made it. Anybody would help me down. But you also had the gum smuggling thing in there. You should have came with the Biggie Smalls Juicy. This for all the teachers that told me I never amount to nothing. All the gum smuggling, and you know, you just come out there chewing bubble gum. Like, you know, they're not going to pull you right during the walkout. They're not going to ruin the production to cane you, right? Let you fight first.
That's pretty good, Dan, that you know those lyrics.
Oh, that's my favorite Biggie song.
Closet Gangster.
I'm not going to sit here and dive into the whole laws about it, so I'm just going to go with Wikipedia. And it says, the Singapore chewing gun ban has been in place since 1992. An exception is made for therapeutic, dental, or nicotine chewing gum.
Well, it was therapeutic.
Therapeutic, there you go, yeah. Which
Josh
can be
Blake.
bought
It was therapizing
from a doctor or registered pharmacist. So, yeah, I guess there's a couple passes, a couple cards you could have played.
I would have just pulled the really foreign card. Oh, I'm foreign, I don't know.
And then did you know that even taking it a step further, drugs that's a really
it's
bad
super
thing.
bad, right?
Yeah.
Yo, I don't do any drugs, so
yeah.
That one I'm safe with.
Mm-hmm.
Chewing gum is the extent of my gangsterness.
All right. Well, I know that night didn't go in your favor. I'm sure you've shaken it off by now. It's been a few months.
I'm pretty salty about it still, but
really?
It's whatever. Like, I'll get a chance to avenge that loss, and that's kind of...
What are you salty about? Towards yourself or the decision? Or
a bit of both. Like, I know it was super close. Like, I've watched... My coach said to me, John said to me, he's like, when you watch that fight, you're going to be so angry about it. And I did, and I was so pissed off because I, like, performed really well, but just mentally wasn't there, so I just didn't do enough. Like, I just couldn't switch on to go, you know? It was like fighting on autopilot, so it's whatever. It wasn't like it was a bashing or like I got beaten up or anything. Like, it's one I can actually contest and go, hey, like, we were super close last time. Mm-hmm. Let's do it again.
True.
Did you feel it as the fight was going on that something just was off?
Yeah, definitely. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It was so weird. Like, I did get hit really hard in the first round with a right hand, and it, like, rattled me bad. First time I've ever been rattled in a fight. Like, I've had 19 fights or whatever now. And first time I've ever been hit hard enough to make me kind of go, oh, shit. But after that, it was like, the only way I can describe it is like, everything I got hit with, I remember getting kicked in the elbow. It was like I could see colours coming out of it. Like, it was almost like I was on like an LSD trip or something. You know what I mean? It was just everything. Like, I felt everything. It was like it was in slow motion. I felt every single, like, she hit me with her foot on the elbow, and I felt every single toe, and every single toe had like an explosion of colour. It was the most insane thing I've ever experienced, you know? So I'm glad it happened, I guess. Like, now I know what that feels like, and I guess I can prepare for it better, but yeah, it was weird.
Did you know right away, going back and watching the film, the adjustments that had to be made?
Yeah, I just needed to initiate more. Is it? And I haven't, and like, I've done it before. I think all my losses are pretty the same, where I just haven't initiated enough, you know? Like, I've been on autopilot. It was the same when I fought Sarah Kaufman in Korea. Like, I was on autopilot and just played defense and counter-struck, and, you know, but there was no initiation, no offense. It was just all me waiting and countering. You know, like, my countering's good, but if there's like nothing starting it off, then nothing happens.
The saltiness that you're talking about, much like a Vegemite.
Yes.
When does that go away? Does that next fight gets put back away, or is that something you carry for a long time?
I don't know. You know, honestly, this is the first fight that I've been in, win or loss, where I've been like, fuck, I'm ready to, like, let's go again now. You know, like, I know what I need to fix. I know what my mistakes were. Like, I had a few things that I messed up in camp, a few things that I messed up in fight week, and after I lost a fight, like, I already kind of thought in my head, like, oh, I think I made some mistakes this camp, you know, and I already kind of had it in my head, and then afterwards when I lost, I was like, yeah, it just confirmed it, and it just gave me more things to think about next camp. But I went.
What kind of things? Anything you can share?
Just so I spent a lot of time in camp. I spent a lot of time helping other people instead of focusing just on my own training. Like, I had a couple of teammates who, you know, are starting their amateur careers, and I was coaching them a lot. And during, like, I was still doing my own rounds, but I was giving too much energy to them. And because I like to teach, like, coaching's my second love, you know, so it's really hard for me to turn that side of it off. But after this camp, I started working with a sports psychologist, and we spoke about that, and I became very aware of it. And I said to every single one of those teammates, I'm like, look, once I get another fight booked, that's it. Like, I'll coach you between fights, but when I'm in camp, it's got to be about me now. So.
Okay. Well, you had mentioned you were a little salty with the judges. I just want to give you a chance to clarify. You thought that they made the wrong call?
No. I 100% lost that fight.
Oh,
for sure.
See. Okay.
I think if that takedown hadn't happened in the third round, maybe it would have been a split or a draw. I think that was what won her the fight. I'm not salty, but they made the right decision, 100%. She won that fight. I'm just salty at me not performing.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the one thing at least I've run into is sometimes when I'm too honest, sometimes it can, you know, now all of a sudden someone's salty with me. Yeah. But I figure at least someone can come into the studio and go, man, those guys always shoot us straight no matter what. And so I was just about to say it until you clarified. I go, I didn't think there was really much controversy. I mean, they were competitive rounds, and trust me, I'm a Jessica Rose Clark fan. I mean, you've come into the studio, we've fallen in love with you. Like, Junkie Nation loves you, you know what I mean? And Jessica is really, really cool. We've covered her for many years, but we don't really know her like we've gotten to know you. So we're Homer Simpsons, you know? I think Dan, too. I mean, we're a little bit Homer Simpsons, and you know, we were polling, and there was some really, really close rounds there. I think one judge gave you one round, round one, and one in round two, different opposite judges, and round three really was the one that I think could have gone your way. But
then the takedown.
Yeah. But you know, you have a 3-fight win streak before that, so that's great. I think you can definitely pick yourself up. So hopefully that saltiness does start to go away, and the focus becomes the next fight.
Well, I've used it in a good way. Like, it just pushed me straight back into training. Like, I usually don't go back to full strength and conditioning until I have another fight booked, but I went straight back, and I'm like, you know, I want to be quicker, I want to be stronger, I want to be more athletic. Like, let's focus on these things. So the saltiness wasn't a bad thing. It was a good thing. And this, and it wasn't at her, it wasn't at the judges.
I got you.
Yeah, it was at myself.
Very cool. All right. Well,
very mature over here.
Very. Yeah.
I'm trying to be a professional, guys.
By the way, you missed the part though where she would consider eating.
Not my dog.
Oh, not your dog.
Not my dog.
She said something about a snake and a crocodile and she tiptoed
alligator.
on dog and I go stop, and she took it back.
Yeah,
so we're away from it, but yeah, I mean, I that's what I wanted to tell her. I was like, what about Blue? You know.
Mm-hmm. I would eat just about anything. It's just dog. I wouldn't be able to look at my dog because anytime you would make that face, I'd be like,
the dog is the only animal in the world that cares more about you than itself.
That's
so
true.
There's no
that's what I
way.
mean. Like
Look at that little dog right there.
Oh, stop
Fast
being
free,
a
1
dick.
to 2 day shipping. See him? He's a little Jack Russell.
Oh, yeah.
Delicious.
You know, cats don't care at all, huh? If dogs are here, cats are like down there.
Oh,
right?
that's not true.
They
I had my cat.
so
He loved me.
I'm not saying they're bad animals, but you're right. I had a cat before, and it was like, just you walk in the doors like this. A dog is excited. Oh my God, they want to throw out rose petals and red carpet, you know, and you could really just go, hello, how you doing, dog, you know, and hug them and kiss them and everything, and go, I'm going to go outside and grab the newspaper or the mail or whatever, and you come back in, it's another parade. You know, they get really, really happy every single time they see you. That's the beautiful thing about the dog.
I think we all can have that wiring. Let me reference a movie I brought up yesterday. Independence Day, where all these people just getting waxed from city to city, like the aliens are just taking out cities, right, with their beams. But there's this one scene where Will Smith's wife's trying to get through this tunnel, and he's got the golden retriever, and it's like, is the golden retriever gonna make it? Like they're in a safe place, but the dog's like, come on, dog, come on. Like people are just getting waxed, like women, children, getting burned in the background, but like, yeah, come on, dog. The dog makes everyone in the theater,
That's why dogs are a big part of every commercial. That wasn't just select that we saw there. Dogs are in a lot of commercials now. You know what I mean? You just gotta have these soft spots for them, and I do.
I cry in I Am Legend every time he has to kill his dog.
No, I was thinking of that movie too. That's the worst part of the movie. Yeah.
But like Blue, she looks at me with these real people eyes, and I can see that she's trying to tell me something, and it's like talking to a child. It's the weirdest thing ever. I've never had a dog that's like as expressive as what she is.
And they have senses. They're very protective. They can be trained to do so many
things. I wouldn't eat Blue.
Yeah, I hope not. Who's the other?
That's Dog.
That's Dog?
Yeah. So I have Blue and I have Dog.
Oh, I thought it was. That's your dog as well.
Yeah, it's my dog. I just got a second one. Yeah.
Nice.
D-O-G or D-O-U-G, Doug?
No, Dog. D-O-G.
D-O-double-G.
Whose dog is Dog?
I have a buddy whose dog is Doug.
Whose dog is?
Whose dog is Dog? What movie is that from?
What
movie has a dog called Dog in it? That would make sense for me to name my dog after it.
Oh, Mad Max. Boom! I didn't have to slap myself today.
The old one or the new one?
Yes, the old one, the best one.
Yeah, it's the same dog, yep.
Okay.
I like that.
All right. What do you think of the fights coming up this weekend? You fired up? You get fired up about fight week and, you know, the big pay-per-views?
Not always, but this one I am. I really wanted to. I was going to go to this one until Yair got pulled for his injury, so then I cancelled my trip. But, yeah, I'm stoked on this one. I'm excited for it. There's a lot of girls on the card. There's a lot of my friends on the card.
There was almost 3 WMMA fights on the pay-per-view, which I think would have been historic, if I'm not mistaken.
I think they've got 2 now, right? They pulled one, yeah.
But 4 total. That's pretty
good.
Yeah,
4.
And your weight division is highlighted. I mean, it's the co-main event. It's the world title, and the champion defends for the first time.
They're not promoting it at all, which sucks.
You don't think so?
No. I've seen hardly anything.
Compared to Till and Woodley or compared to other fights?
Compared to Till and Woodley, and like
are you talking about embedded or what?
I see a lot of Valentina, and I see hardly anything about Nico, which sucks. But
have you told her why she has a pencil in her hand yet?
No.
Yeah, I'd like for you to circle the ones you like, and I'm gonna play my Jesse Just parlay this weekend.
All right.
So it's only gonna be like $10 or something, you know.
What'd you say? 3?
Either 3 or 5. If you really like 5, choose 5.
I don't like that many people.
Then just 3's fine.
Okay.
I'll say the odds out loud while these two think about it. Darren Till has evened things up. It's now minus 115 for Till and minus 115 for Woodley. Here in Vegas, we call that a pick'em. Valentina Shevchenko minus 1,600. That means you got to walk up to the counter and say, "Here's my 1,600 to win 100." On Valentina Shevchenko, the challenger, by the way, the champion Nico Montano. You walk up with 100 and say, "I would like to take the champ," and they would return $900 if she won. How crazy is that? That with the champion, You give a little and get back a lot, and with the challenger, you have to put up a lot to win a little.
Yeah.
This is one of the biggest line shifts I've ever seen for the champion. You know what I mean? For the champion to be the underdog.
I saw MMA
because I've seen Cyborg get up to 2,000, but she was the champion. What's that? Dan?
I saw MMA analytics. I believe Reed tweeted earlier today. I think it's 14% total of the whole pie of challengers ever being favored over champions in the UFC. And we have 2 this weekend. So that's kind of crazy.
That's insane.
Well, this one's a pick, but maybe whatever he referenced. I've seen Till become the favorite.
Most online houses have Woodley as an underdog as of 2 days ago, and have stayed that way.
Okay. Karolina Kowalkiewicz. Oh, excuse me. Jessica Andrade is minus 475. Karolina Kowalkiewicz, who by the way is dreamy, plus 350 and minus 475 for Andrade. Carla Esparza. Oh, sorry. Why did I keep going first with the underdog? Sorry, the favorite. Tatiana Suarez minus 575. Carla Esparza plus 400. Esparza's got some wrestling skills, and she's been throwing some way better punches than she used to when she first started. I can't believe this disparity again. Now, granted, Suarez has been a beast. Don't get me wrong, but still. Shall I continue? Zabit Magomedov Shapirov. It's like he's got like 3 last names there. He's the favorite at minus 1,200 versus Brandon Davis at plus 700. Brandon Davis stepping in for Yair Rodriguez. Aljamain Sterling minus 135. Cody Stamen plus 105.
Did you watch Aljamain's
I wasn't
video?
done, Jesse.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm just kidding. What's up?
Did you watch his UFC 228 video that he did?
Aljamain?
Yeah.
You talking about the series?
Where he's in the bathtub and he's like talking to his missus about dick. Yeah. And she just walks away about his own. Yeah.
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh, you should watch it.
No,
it's
not
funny.
his own dick. About he did his own like.
Yeah. But he is talking about his own dick as well. But yeah, it's funny as fuck.
All
Wait,
right.
I am allowed to swear on this, aren't I?
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's see. Charles Bird minus 240. Darren Stewart plus 190. You know who those guys are?
Nope.
Be honest, neither do I.
No. I'm pretty sure Darren Stewart fought one of my old teammates.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Probably.
Eric Spicely.
Abdul Razak Al Hassan minus 145. Nico Price plus 115. Jimmy Rivera minus 150. John Dodson plus 120.
What does the minus mean? Does that mean they're the favorite?
Yep.
Okay.
They're the favorite. You gotta walk up to the window if you want Rivera. You gotta walk up with 150.
Okay.
To win 100.
Okay.
Because you got what they say is the better fighter, the favorite fighter to win. If you want Dodson, you walk up with 100, and they give you back 120 if Dodson wins.
Okay.
Because you're risking more.
Right. So the difference is if Goes walks up and says, I want Rivera, he hands him 150, and you say, I want Dodson, and you hand him 100. At the end, when they pay back the money, there's obviously $30 missing, right?
Yeah.
That's what they keep. That's called the vigorish.
Okay.
Or you call it the vig for short, and that's how they make money. So the easier thing would be for you guys to just shake hands and bet and save each other the juice.
We're going opposites on almost all of them anyway.
Are we?
Yeah, I'm going Jimmy Rivera. I'm a huge Jimmy fan.
Yeah?
Yep.
You think he'll win this fight?
Man, I like his style so much, I think he should win every fight. John Dodson's good, though. I think it'll be really good.
John Dodson, yeah, he's really quick. That's the one thing he always has on everybody's that quickness.
Yeah.
But Rivera's no joke, man.
Jimmy's
like
big leg kicker. I love him. Yeah, I think he's amazing.
Okay. Who do you like? Oh, Dan, sorry. Who do you like in that fight?
I actually had Jimmy Rivera circled as one of my parlay pieces. It's hard to find any kind of parlay pieces or any plays in general because you have just such good fighters fighting each other, and you have overinflated odds that we kind of talked about. But this matchup, I'm with Jess. I'm a big fan of Jimmy Rivera's style. I actually did. I think I picked Jimmy Rivera in every fight except maybe his last one. So I'm definitely high on his style. But John Dodson's that guy where if he shows up, he has that power, that speed, those intangibles, that southpaw style, that counter style that can just frustrate guys. So it's a close fight. So it deserves to be lined that close. But if you're looking for like something that's playable, man, Rivera's just a proven winner. And if John Dodson doesn't find that knockout shot, Rivera's just going to put that volume on. Like Jess said, he mixes up his punches and leg kicks so well. And judges tend to like that too.
What about Sterling and Stamen?
Sterling and Stamen's another one that I had circled here, actually, for favorites. Not because any disrespect to Stamen. I mean, what is it, on a 10-fight winning streak? The dude's super talented. Again, he's got a counter-punching style that can be really, can really throw guys off depending on the whole styles make fights thing. So depending on who his dance partner is, it could be interesting. But I like Sterling. Sterling's, he's addressed a lot of his criticisms from, gas tank issues, pace, boxing range, like all the things, like anything you could have really criticized Sterling before. Like, he's doing it in his fights now.
Yeah.
And you got to you got to give him that respect. He deserves to be the favorite here, albeit slightly. But I'd shoot some money on Sterling this weekend.
Does the Esparza have a chance? More than what the odds makers are saying?
I want to say more than what the odds makers are saying, because Esparza, for all her, any criticisms you could say about her game, I think she's at least made strides in her recent performances. You can say, right? Even her critics can agree on that. Whereas Tatiana Suarez, I'm raising my hand for the hype. The female Khabib Nurmagomedov comparisons are pretty on point. But at the same time, we haven't seen too much from her on the feet. She'll operate from that southpaw stance. She's got some counters. She's got some things she likes to throw when she comes forward. But we really haven't seen that sustained sample size, so it's tough to be like, oh, this girl should be way super favorite.
All right. So, Jess, have you come up with 3?
Yeah, I chose.
Let me write these down. Hold on a second. All right, Jess, who do you got?
Tyron, the champ.
Tatiana.
Tatiana?
Yeah, and Jimmy Rivera.
All right. How do you think Tatiana gets it done?
Honestly, I think it's probably going to be a decision.
Okay. Just
they're both
wrestling and smothering?
Yeah, they're both grapplers, and they're both very aggressive grapplers. Tatiana's got a lot of size on Carla. Carla's used to fighting bigger girls, but I just honestly, I've been a fan of Tatiana since the first day I saw her. I think she's incredible. And I think she's kind of very new style, whereas Carla's made a lot of adjustments, but she's still kind of set in her ways with how she's always fought, Mm-hmm. So I think Tatiana presents a lot of variables. Maybe.
Yeah. All right. Goes. What's yours?
All right. Remember, mine is solely based on gambling. So I'm going with Woodley. I would pick Woodley anyway, but gambling-wise, if you're going to give me the former champion at plus 400, I'm willing to risk that. I think there's a good payout there.
All right.
But I'm with her and her analysis.
Tell me in terms of gambling.
In terms of gambling, I just feel like she shouldn't be a plus 400.
Is Woodley the first one, though?
Yeah, Woodley's
okay, Woodley. All right.
Yeah. Carla Esparza.
All right.
And then I heard a fighter say about John Dodson that him and Demetrius Johnson are two of the only guys in the UFC that you can never bring anyone in like them. So to prepare for them is very difficult. So you have to learn on the fly when you fight them. And I believe that. So as much as I like Jimmy Rivera and probably gun to the head, I would probably go Jimmy Rivera. I always think about that with John. I think John can just present a lot of things that come fight night, you have to solve it right then and there. Mm-hmm. So I took John Dodson.
I think Munoz struggled with a little bit of that, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Just like, what the hell's in front of me,
Get a beat on him.
Right. All right. And Dan, you got something?
We're gonna have some consensus picks here, I guess. I'm with them on Woodley. I'm with them on. I'm with Jess on Jimmy Rivera, and I'm not sure who's on the Sterling boat, but Sterling will be my third for if you're looking for playable favorites to parlay together. That's my 3.
Sterling. All right. You want to hear the one I put in?
All right.
Mine is Sterling. It's a 5-teamer.
Okay.
Sterling. You paying attention, Max? All right. Sterling, Nico Price, Craig White, Tyron Woodley, and John Dodson. 25 pays 537.
Not bad. I've spent 25 on way dumber things.
Yeah.
25. And I think, do you think any of those are, which one's the one that scares you the most? Woodley. Nico Price, Craig White, Tyron Woodley, and John Dodson.
I would say Nico Price because he's the underdog, but I'm actually picking, and I'll be doing a little sprinkle play on Nico Price there, tip of the hand for the breakdown
Dodson. Article
that'll come out tomorrow on Junkie and Protect Connect podcast, which is being recorded tonight.
I think Dodson would probably be the scariest one.
Yeah, and these should be scary. I mean, this is high-level mixed martial arts. If they were all slam dunks, then we'd all be going with these considerable favorites. All right. I do want to ask Jess a question, something she brought up earlier, except we got to take a break. So let's take this break. You're listening to MMA Junkie Radio on the new Fight Nation Channel 93. When we come back, I want to ask her about this whole Nico and Valentina, because I thought it's been 50-50, but maybe there's some things she's seen that I haven't seen in regards to promotion for this Saturday's UFC 228 card in Dallas, Texas. Remember to keep it locked on MMA Junkie throughout the week. We got reporters there, videographers there. We're here, so we got you covered, man, from top to bottom in regards to this huge pay-per-view on Saturday. Stay close.
I love this song.
They taught Andy Griffith how to whistle. Here are Gorgeous George and Goes.
Get the radio channel numbers and the link to listen to your favorite NFL, college football, or Major League Baseball team sent right to your smart device. Just go to SiriusXM.com/sports today and click Add to My Calendar. Jesse, do you have a NFL team that you root for? Did I ask you that? No.
No, my housemate watches. I think she.
Are you waiting for the Raiders in 2 years, and you're gonna be full in on the Raiders?
100% no.
No.
I don't watch any sport. I'm lucky I watch my own sport. Yeah.
Are you watching UFC 228?
I will be watching this one. Yes.
Aren't you part of a crew that they all get together at? Is it Buffalo Wild Wings or something like that?
It was Twin Peaks. Yeah, but I'm going to Hooters. I just moved house. There's a Hooters around the corner from my house, and it's like a 3-minute walk. So, and I like Hooters.
Is it rowdy or is it chill? Or?
It's pretty chill, but it's real like dark and I don't know, dingy, disgusting. But I just like going. Yeah, I just like going there and eating bacon wrapped wings. They're the best. I kind of like look forward to every fight night that I can go to Hooters and eat bacon wrapped wings.
They have bacon wrapped wings
at Hooters. Yeah, they do.
Admission here. I thought about stopping into a Hooters over the weekend just because I was like, I really want some like bar food right now, but I don't want to stop. I'm by myself. I don't want to go. I'm like, but they have good wings. Maybe I'll just get it to go. Have a beer somewhere. That's not that bad. And I was driving by a Hooters, but I was like, I don't want to be creepy. I actually like genuinely want some wings right now. But I feel like if I go in there, it's a lone dude, going into Hooters. See if you go in there, I'm sure it's.
I feel like Hooters is one of the few places that you could go to by yourself as a man, and it wouldn't be weird because you go there to look at women's breasts. And there's sports.
That's the part that makes it creepy, though.
Well, it's the whole place.
You're just by yourself.
They don't help out though because they do make it dingy, which makes it even creepier.
Yeah, like the one around the corner from my house is real dark and like just gross. Yeah, I like it.
I used to live
I
around
just
the
wish I
corner.
liked wings as much as other people do.
Don't say
Because
that.
I just have no desire to step into a Hooters ever again.
Have you given it another try though? Since like the last time you had it?
What happened the last time you went to
Well, I'm not a wings fan, right? So I go, give me a burger. And I just remember they gave me, like, literally it was bread, meat, could have been horse meat or dog meat. I don't know. It was just awful. Tomato and another bread on top of it. And then they had, like, packs of ketchup and mayo. Like, I got to do my own thing. I'm like, what the fuck? All these other places bring it to you, and they have their secret sauces and all that. I didn't like that part. And so I don't know. Then when I ate the burger, even after I fixed it up myself, it wasn't that great, and so I don't know.
I understand that.
Have they changed the menu at least a little?
Don't know. I only eat the bacon wrapped wings. I got no idea.
A little bit. You don't like Buffalo Wild Wings?
Yes.
I do, but
that's different.
I used to go to Buffalo Wild Wings with my ex all the time when I first moved out here, and we'd just get hammered drunk every night and eat street tacos. So, and like every time I go back there, I feel like that's what I need to do. So I just don't go.
Hammered drunk.
Yeah, hammered drunk.
All right.
I feel like you can get over that.
It was like a thing that I did with him, though. You know what I mean? Like,
just change it to
it's
like
not as
pizza
much
at the
fun. It's not as much fun if I do it by myself. I mean, I could get him to come with me, but I also don't want to get hammered drunk. Yeah.
Nico Montana and Valentina. Explain, because I watched the embeddeds, I watched the countdown, I've seen the poster, I've seen the commercials. I don't feel like it's one-sided, but explain further, please.
Just from what I've seen, obviously, like, I'm online all day, every day, because it's the only thing I do between training. And I see, like, I'm going to say I see probably 75-80% Valentina and the rest Nico. You know, even this whole,
like the websites or the UFC?
Just like everything I've been to, social media, you know, whether it's other people tweeting stuff, whether it's other people writing stuff, whether it's UFC, people retweeting UFC, it's just the like general mass thing that I've seen is that nothing for Nico. You know, it's like I feel bad for her because she's a champ and it seems like no one believes in her at all. And no one wants to be vocal about thinking that she has a chance. I 100% think she has a chance. I think.
How'd she get it done?
I don't know. You know, I think Valentina's very, very good, but she's very technical. She's a technical counter striker. She kind of does the same thing. Like her last fight is the only time she's been overly aggressive, and it was because they fed her a can from Brazil. You know, I think Nico's kind of all over the shop. she's like a fucking tornado. Like, you don't know what's going to happen because no one's seen her fight, you know? Roxanne, like, she fought Roxanne when she won the title, and Roxanne is one of the most unorthodox, awkward, frustrating women you could possibly go up against, and Nico handled it, you know what I mean? So if you can handle someone with Roxanne's style, it's easy to handle someone who's very technical because you can read technique. You know, people who have got very technical styles are much easier to counter. They're much easier to know kind of what's coming because, like, Valentina's southpaw, but she's very traditional. Counter hook, left straight, that's pretty much it. Couple of low kicks if she feels like it. Like, yeah. I don't know.
Can I show you something?
Yeah.
This is MMAjunkie.com's app. If you go here, read that headline.
Yeah, I saw that. I read an article
So
from her today.
A little bit.
Well, what's the headline, Ghost?
And,
people on the radio don't know.
So now you get Valentina. It was an article about Nico.
Oh, okay.
Then you get one about Valentina. And you get one about Nico.
Yeah, that's good. I'm proud of you guys. Well done. Thanks, MMA Junkie.
We got your back.
Well done. Back in the champ.
So you think to now you just gun to the, you know what gun to the head is?
Yeah.
All right. So who do you think is gonna win the fight?
I don't know. It's so hard. Like, I used to think Valentina, you know, and then obviously, like, this is my division, so I've started watching people a lot more, and the more I watch Shevchenko, the less I'm certain about it. You know, I think it could go decision. You know, Nico's got a good gas tank. She is scrappy. She throws shit out of nowhere. She's happy to wrestle, you know.
That's what I'm wondering is the wrestling, you know, if she's just, if she's committed to it and she starts to wrestle early and she can maybe bank around. And you know when that doubt starts to creep a little bit, when a heavy favorite, all of a sudden things don't go well in round one and everybody starts going, oh shit, you know, like
that's the worst when gambling.
I know that the corner and the fighter are also thinking it, you know, when something happens that you just can't seem to stop. I think to Chael Sonnen and Anderson Silva, I mean, that was 2008, the first one. When we were all watching it, we were like, oh, wow, of course he's going to get the takedown. He's a wrestler. Anderson will get up or he'll control him. And then it started happening over and over. You're like, oh, boy, what do we have here, you know? Something like that I could see if Nico's committed to it. If she stands with her, I don't think she stands a chance.
I don't think, no. But, like, there's not many people who can beat Valentina in a kickboxing fight. I 100% give that. But Nico came up through MMA. It's very different. You know, Valentina did not. Valentina came up through straight striking. I know people who've trained with Valentina, they've said, yeah, she's really strong. She's got great wrestling defense. But at the same time, it's that same new breed coming up against the old style. Like, the old style is very technical. The new breed, the people who are coming up through straight MMA, they're learning so much more than just straight kickboxing. I wouldn't tell Nico to fight kickboxing against Valentina. I think she'd get killed, you know. But MMA, I'd put money on Nico, 100%.
All right. What about Carolina versus Jessica Andrade? Break that one down for us.
It's very similar. Like, Jessica, I've sparred with Jessica. She's a little Terminator. You know, she does not take a backward step. I think she has a very unintelligent fight style. I think she's very similar to Justin Gaethje. Like, she takes a lot to give a lot. I think Carolina's a lot smarter. But it depends on whether that intelligence can match that toughness. Like, Carolina's really tough. Great striking, very technical striking. But Jessica does not back up at all. Like, you have to kill her to get her to stop coming forward. So I think if Jessica can crowd Carolina and not give her any space, she's gonna get it done. You know, Carolina's got really great clinch work. She's got good elbows, good knees, but I just think Jessica's gonna be too powerful for her.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
Yeah.
She is. She's got a motor on her, man. She just doesn't stop.
Never stops.
I think she needs to be aware of her surroundings.
And those slams.
If she can pump that jab and catch her coming in, but circle out, I think she can be successful. But she's right; she doesn't stop. Is the problem?
Yeah.
So you have to kind of keep moving around,
you
Jessica. You got to keep going, keep going.
I'd feel more comfortable playing Esparza against Suarez than Carolina against Andrade.
I'd agree with that.
You know what I mean? I just think at least Esparza has a strength in that she's wrestled as well. She's pretty good in scrambles, and I remember her striking against Rose when she was defending the title. Excuse me, it was against Joanna. Her striking was awful. Look, I know Joanna's, you know, top-notch Muay Thai, you know, fighter, but it just wasn't good. It was very predictable, and she didn't have any pop on her punches. But in her last fight, she was throwing, and she had some good pop on her punches. So I like that she's developed that. But do you like Esparza's chances against Suarez?
No, I'm still going for
Suarez,
Suarez. Yeah, just like I'm a fan of hers. I do agree with what you're saying about Carla's striking. Like her fight with Cynthia, I thought Cynthia would have it all over her just because of her striking style. Like Cynthia's touch move, touch move, touch move, bubble butt move. And Carla, held her own against her. They were both trying to take each other down. Like Carla, I think, outstruck Cynthia. So that's the first time I've seen Carla have like really decent striking and put it all together. But I still think Tatiana's too big and too good. I think she's too well. I think she's more well-rounded than Carla is.
Do you ever gamble on fights?
Absolutely not.
No.
No.
Is there a reason?
Yeah, I don't want to waste my money.
What if you win?
What if I win? What if I lose?
No, but what if you win was my question.
But what if I lose?
I'll answer that after you answer mine.
If I win, I win. I'm not willing. I don't have enough money to risk putting it on something.
You only need to put $10. That's like a
I'm
Vegemite
good.
sandwich.
Yeah, you know what I could do with that $10? I could go and get a Vegemite sandwich and I'd probably enjoy it more.
Yeah, but if you win, you can get like 20 Vegemite
Buy
sandwiches.
20 Vegemite sandwiches.
All right, let's talk to
My
Showtime.
nutritionist would be so upset.
In Tennessee. What's up, Showtime? It's yo time.
Hey, what's going on, fellas? On the dog, you can parlay on that.
Huh? You're talking about her eating dogs?
Yeah, that money that she's wasting on dogs, and she can put a nice
I can't understand this, guy.
The money
Showtime.
that you're wasting on dogs.
Start over again.
On eating dogs, you could use the parlay and make more money.
Should I put him back on hold and we start all over?
Yeah,
What were you talking about parlaying under dogs? Either way.
Oh, wait, maybe that's what he meant.
Hey, yeah, I was just listening to you guys. I feel I disagree with y'all on a couple things. It's going to be a lot of underdogs. This card has these. Yeah, I guess y'all.
Hey, man, where you calling from? Like a submarine or something?
Yeah, we can barely hear you, Showtime. Why don't we put him on hold and take a break?
Yeah, let's do that.
And then we'll bring him back.
All right, you're listening to MMA Junkie Radio on the New Fight Nation Channel 93. Stay close, and we'll be right back. And if you want to follow Showtime, but with a better connection, for crying out loud, it's 866-522-2846.
set of the Fast and the Furious for being too loud and too good looking. Once again, here's Gorgeous George and Goes.
SiriusXM's The Highway and Ram trucks have your chance to win the all-new Ram 1500. One grand prize winner will drive off in the new Ram 1500 equipped with the best radio on the road, the SiriusXM 360L. It's the newest, most amazing way to experience SiriusXM. For official rules and to enter, go to SiriusXM.com/Ram before September 19th. Online entries only. Certain eligibility restrictions apply. See official rules. No purchase necessary to enter or to win. Shout out to Olu High School, 2-1. They are playing again today. That's the school my godson plays for, and he is a terror. I think I got it wrong last week, though. Somebody fed me the wrong information. He had 4 TDs and 400 yards. I may have said 500 yards.
Yeah.
I think
still a great game.
It was still a great game. Yeah, he's a stud. I'm gonna ask Marissa and see if I can get into Costa Mesa a few times this year, because I just got to get to some of these games. I watch the highlights. I'm like, damn, I really want to be at those games, but.
You gonna be one of those like competitive parents that are in the stand?
No, I'm yelling, but no, I'm trying to tell Woody to do the equivalent of Lonzo Ball. I'm trying to get him to be Gonzo Ball. He's pretty
Brody
chill.
Could be Gonzo Ball.
He's pretty chill. We're talking a little bit of smack, but you know, just it's a Catholic high school. We're not trying to get too crazy while we're out there. All right, we're joined by UFC flyweight Jessica Rose Clark. On a Thursday here as we're headed to UFC 228 on Saturday, Woodley versus Till in Dallas, Texas at the American Airlines Center. Hey, do you have any update on Yair, by the way, Jessica?
Hey.
Yair?
I spoke to him yesterday. He said his ribs are killing him.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So okay. I don't think he cracked a bone. I think he damaged the cartilage in his ribs. Grappling like a couple of weeks before he pulled out. And
has he been training at Syndicate?
He was, and then he went back out to Jackson's for a bit, and he was like switching between Jackson's and Chicago, because I think his wrestling coach Izzy is in Chicago, so he was going back and forth between the two. He just came back to Vegas and emptied out his apartment, so I think he's moving back to Chicago. I'm not sure, don't quote me on that. But he was living here, but he said to me that he wasn't spending enough time to justify spending that much money on rent.
UFC PI guy?
No, not really. Not really. Like, to be honest, he's lived here for a while. He's had his apartment here for a while, but he's hardly ever here. He's always in Albuquerque or Mexico. Yeah.
And do you use the UFC PI?
Yeah, every day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, every day.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I train there 4 days a week, and then I get my food from there the other days.
Do you ever just go in for food and then bounce? Or
yeah,
do you
always.
Like,
no, really? You know what I do is I text.
You don't just play it off and go, woo, just had a workout.
No, I text one of the nutritionists and I go, hey, this is my order. I'll pick it up at 2. And then I go in there, pick it up 2. Okay, bye, guys. And I leave.
You can do that?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I would do what you said. Just show up and look for whatever's full.
Play it off.
The treadmills are always full here.
Yeah.
All right, I'll get a burger and then walk out.
You just go in there and just one meal a day, or do you sometimes get 2?
Always lunch. Sometimes, if I'm in camp, then I'll get like 2 meals.
See that money you're saving? That's the parlay we're talking about.
Well, yeah, true.
Hey,
but
are you like Brad Tavares and you just give him like massive custom orders? Because so far, Tavares probably gives them the most sweat, right?
Yeah.
He has custom Rocamocos. He has custom Rocamocos where he's like, yeah, you guys use 2 eggs, or I want you to go ahead and use 5. Like,
yeah.
you know,
Oh, I love Brad.
What is that on there? I'm not throwing him under the bus.
Hey?
What's your order?
I get chicken, asparagus, and avocado for one, and I get chicken, asparagus, spinach, and quinoa for the other. Nothing exciting.
What do you mean for 1 or 2? You actually pick up 2 orders?
I pick up 2, yeah.
Oh, wow. So one's for dinner? Or?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Smart.
Yeah, I try.
Yeah.
But I have Protein House as well, so everything else comes from Protein House, so I'm very lucky.
Is Cerrone kind of been there a little bit more? It looks like the team's expanding a little bit.
Yeah, so he was coming in after Singapore, because obviously him, Wood and myself all spent a lot of time together in Singapore, and he kind of watched Wood and I work together in Fight Week, and after that he was like, oh, I think I want to spend more time at the PI, could I come train with you guys? And he comes in for practices and does pads with Wood, but he's the same, like he's kind of bouncing over a few places, you know, so whenever he's in Vegas he comes and trains with us, but he's not a staple.
Alright. Alright, so 1 hour down and 1 hour to go. Jessie's sticking around for the whole show. She'll be our co-host. But Max Payne I'm not going to attempt to spell the last name until he tells us how to say it. But Max Payne, a young cat out of Extreme Couture. Been hearing a lot about him. He'll join us here in the second hour, so stay close.
Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario? Ayo, Bono spit and Bono's back. But Bono no chat.
Do it.
Can't rap, well what do you know? The dead dog is switched up to back. No batteries included and no strings attached. No holds barred. No time for move faking. Has to get to loose so I can bring home the bacon. Brothers struggle, they say the crowd can't flow, but we've been known to do the impossible like what break.
Here we go with the second hour of the MMA Junkie Radio Show.
But here's the real truth.
I'm reading the YouTube chat here. Rolly Estrada that wants to know, Danny, what'd you do for your birthday? What kind of beers did you have? How many beers did you have?
Lots and lots of beers and drinks, and I went to California.
What kind of beers?
I don't even remember. Honestly, I went to this place where they had signature drinks, but I definitely had beers in between, and it was very fuzzy after that.
T in our chat also says, we'll just be in studio, and then when he found out, he wrote, she's awesome.
Thank you.
He asked 3 seconds before she came in, by the way. The
timing really?
was
well, I was late.
Yeah. Okay. And I also want to welcome to the show Max Rohskopf. We call him Max Payne. Welcome, Max. How you doing?
Great. Great to be here. Happy to be on here talking to MMA Junkie Nation.
And just so everybody knows, Mike Pyle, we did not send him back 20 years. This is really Max here.
I've gotten that a lot.
You've gotten that a lot?
Yeah.
You're probably sick of it right now, right?
No, that's good. He's a good-looking dude, obviously.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah. But you're the younger version of him.
Younger version.
No,
younger, a little bit better looking.
Mike Pyle, if like Mike Pyle had an intervention and got everything to go and he said, you know what, today I'm going to change my life, that's the version of Mike Pyle he is.
But you just turned 21, right? Or something like
that? 23. 23. I turned 24 on the 27th. Weigh-in day. Turned 27 on, 24 on the 27th.
Okay.
Day before my fight. Yep.
Nice. And where's this fight taking place?
Fresno, California, September 28th for LFA.
Oh, that's right. I did hear about that. LFA.
Yeah.
All right.
Finally got an opponent. Been looking all summer pretty much.
Yeah. Tapology has you at 1-0. Is that correct?
Yeah, 1-0. And then I had one amateur fight, so I was 1-0 as an amateur. And then
you come from the wrestling world.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
I know why.
Joey's been talking him up a lot. Joey Varner.
I know why.
Why?
Because he introduced me to him at the Performing Arts Center. What is it called? The UFC Tough Gym.
Tough Gym, yeah.
And that same day, a couple people would tap me on the shoulder and go, "That guy, he's a handful." I think that's why you're not getting opponents. Yeah,
I think it's funny because I'm not a world champion wrestler. I didn't win a national title or anything like that. I actually wasn't even an All-American. But and I've done jiu-jitsu for a while. I'm not a world champion in jiu-jitsu, but I think just word gets around. Just training at Extreme, and I've trained at all the gyms here at Vegas, pretty much all the jiu-jitsu gyms. And I think word's just getting around what I do in the gym.
Did you go from Ohio to North Carolina to Las Vegas?
Yep.
Okay. What brought you to Las Vegas?
So do you guys know Sean Spangler?
Yes.
Yeah. So he was he wrestled at North Carolina State even before I started even wrestling at all. He was an alumni there, and then he moved back from Vegas because he trained at Drysdale's and Couture's and helped train a lot of the fighters at Couture's, and he moved back to basically raise his kids in North Carolina. And that was my freshman year of college at NC State. And he opened up a jiu-jitsu gym. First day he comes in, since he moved, he came in and wrestled with us or whatever. And ever since I can remember, since I started wrestling, I've always wanted, the plan was always to be a professional fighter or a professional athlete of some sort. And he came in and said, basically, you guys can come train jiu-jitsu with me whenever you want. And so I took him up on it when he came in and trained with us, and then I just got a really close relationship with him. And then just 3-4 years later, got done wrestling, was doing jiu-jitsu, was getting pretty good at jiu-jitsu, trained jiu-jitsu straight, nothing but for like 6 to 8 months. And then once with him and his coach, and once he decided I needed a little bit more and we could start taking it to the next level, it basically moved me out here.
And what about Darian Caldwell? Is that where he wrestled too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, me and I know Darian. Darian was a little bit a few years back, trying to get me, putting it in my head that he wanted me to be out in San Diego.
At Alliance?
Yeah, at Alliance. But after I visited here, I didn't have any interest in going anywhere else.
Right, and I think at one point, wasn't Darian with Bobby Green up in San Bernardino?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I think so, before he dipped down to Alliance. Eventually, everybody sometimes makes a shift and moves around.
Yeah, crosses paths. Everyone knows everyone. Small community.
So I've seen you at Extreme, but you hit up a lot of the gyms.
Yeah, so I've trained at Cobrina's with Hector in the gi a lot. He's amazing. I just recently started training at Drysdale's. 10th Planet on Sundays for open mats. I like going over there. Coach Casey's great. And then City Athletic Boxing Club. I was doing my boxing there for about 3 months strictly with Joey. Spent a lot of time just sharpening that because I think that's important. You gotta. That's how I got good at wrestling. That's how I got good at jiu-jitsu. I spent time and just focused on those arts and became a student of boxing, jiu-jitsu, wrestling all separately. And then I bring it back to Couture's and put it all together.
How'd you get Joey Varner's attention? Because he's tough to get any time from, but he's giving you a lot of time, and for him to do that, it's got to mean something.
I think the big thing was the connection with Sean. So I met Joey at it was like I don't even know whose house it was. It was a party to watch the McGregor-Mayweather fight. I was here for maybe a month and a half. And I sit down, and the people I lived with Robert Follis when I first moved out here. So him and his girlfriend, Myra, brought me and was introducing me to a bunch of people, and Joey happened to be one of them. I sat down next to Joey. He starts talking to me. He's like, I told him I wrestled at NC State, and he's like, so where'd you he's like, so you I have a buddy that wrestled at there. And he's like, you're probably way too young to know who he is. And I was like, bet, like I guarantee I know who he is. And he was like, Sean Spanger. I was like, that's the reason I'm out here, is because of Sean and what he was able and the connections he made for me and moving me out here. And ever since then, we've kind of clicked just from day one, and then went on, had my amateur fight. We stayed in contact and eventually started working. And he's just not even just a good coach, but a good mentor for me and life moving forward.
I was just thinking about yesterday, somebody asked me what some of our favorite shows were. And I was thinking about this as I was looking at the two of you. Remember the day we had Vanderlei Silva and Randy Couture at the same time, but one was still in Pride and the other one was in the UFC? Think about how different it is now, this new generation of fighters. Because you guys have somewhat of a similar story, the way you show up here in Vegas and test the waters out and what you guys are going through. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, she came all the way from Australia, and Max from Ohio originally. We talked the other day, and then wrestled at NC State. But yeah, I mean, you were telling us you have 14 fights now, 19 fights,
15 MMA, 19 total.
15, yeah. He's only got one. He's going on his second. Do you remember how you were around that time when you were?
Yeah, not like him. I just did straight MMA in my MMA gym. A lot of kickboxing. I met him at 10th Planet because he was coming over doing jiu-jitsu there all the time. And once I started talking to him, I realized kind of how much he was already putting into it. Like, I didn't have the ability to put that much into it when I was starting out, just because I didn't have access to the same things, you know. So I think he made the right decision coming out to Vegas because it's such a huge combat sport community and there's so many people here to work with. But I kind of wish I had started how he did and started that at that age. Like, I only found combat sports at 23. Like, I'd never done anything before that, you know.
Look, what advice would you give young Max?
Just keep doing what you're doing.
That's it. That's the easy way out.
He's doing the but it's true. He's doing the right thing. Like, how long have I known you for now? Since my debut, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've known him almost a year now, and like.
Well, what's one mistake you made that you don't want a guy like Max to make?
Probably don't think that you're bigger than what you actually are. You know,
stay humble.
Yeah, don't let your ego get the best of you. Because I 100% did back home, you know, and then I lost because of it. My first loss was partly because of that, because I thought I was a gangster, and turns out I wasn't as much of a gangster as what I like to tell people I was. But yeah, that definitely, and I think that carries on as you get up into like the UFC, the big leagues. You know, you see the people who fall the furthest are the ones who let their ego control them too much, and the people that have longevity are the ones who stay humble and try to help everyone around them as well. Like, if you got to think about yourself when you're training for fights 100%, but if you're only about yourself in this sport, if we don't all grow together, it's not going to go anywhere. It'll disappear. But I know he teaches classes at Extreme Couture, so I 100% believe he's already doing that, you know.
Yeah, incredible though. I want to know, you're already fighting at LFA. I mean, there's people that are like 8-9-0 and they're just starting to get onto a show like LFA, which is televised, and then obviously there's steps after that. So I think a lot of that has to do with you having a wrestling background at a major university.
Yeah, a lot of it's like the wrestling background for sure. It's just like like she said, I didn't start out just MMA. So I've had over 1,000 wrestling matches. I've competed in jiu-jitsu for a few years now. That was kind of like my amateur career, was amateur wrestling. Still to this day, wrestling's way it's just harder. It's the hardest martial art by far, just physically and mentally both. So I think that was kind of like my amateur career, and it prepared me for this. But yeah, like you said, I'm super grateful and lucky to be able to fight for LFA this early on in my career.
What's with not liking Pulp Fiction?
Oh, yeah.
What happened? Yeah, a lot of explaining to you.
I don't know. I just was watching it, and I was just like, I didn't understand what was happening. And then at the end,
I don't understand this, so I hate it.
And then,
to be fair, I think Max was born when Pulp Fiction came out, because I think it came out in '94. Is that when you were born?
Yeah, that was the year I was born. Yeah.
Okay, so I understand dialogue and clothes and things like that.
Yeah.
But you know,
what didn't you get? I mean, it's got great actors. It gets right to the point, you know, and he's got a bunch of little side stories. Like, okay, if you didn't like, you know, the girl and she wanted her pancakes, okay, I didn't like that scene too much either. But there's some other really, really, you know, cool scenes and cool storylines and
some great one-liners.
So that movie, I don't have the best recall on it because I wanted to forget about it as fast as possible.
Wow. You need to watch it again, Max.
I'll try to watch it again, maybe.
You know what's great about it is Joey Varner, he's so into if he has something that he likes and he wants you to like it, I'm dying to know what his face looked like when he wasn't.
You didn't know it was funny when he just blasted him. You know, remember he was sitting there and he goes, "You've got to have an opinion." And boom, he blows his head off. And then Samuel L. Jackson goes off, and then they got to go and dump that. But just that alone, that you weren't laughing at that.
I didn't get like the plot or the storyline behind it. I was just like, oh, okay, I saw that happen, but
Oh, they like
whatever.
cheeseburgers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool beans.
The stupid shirts they had to wear, all that. Nothing. The wolf.
The
You didn't think the wolf
wolf,
was
yeah.
a character.
Nope.
All right. Well, what were some of the movies that you did like that he showed you?
Ooh, A Sixth Sense. I think that was
with Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
That was dumb. I got lost.
No,
in
I
it.
like that. So
that was good.
I got lost in it. I was like,
Joey
what?
messed up and told me there was like kind of a twist, and so the whole time I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, what's the twist? What's the twist? About 40 minutes left in the movie, I figured out the twist, and then I didn't tell him I figured it out until afterwards. So
Why
he
would
was
Joey
like,
say that?
Well, then I didn't figure it out till after. I didn't tell him until afterwards, and he was just like, he's like, no, you gotta tell me right when you figure it out. Like, I don't believe you or whatever. I was like, but I saw. I can't remember. There was another movie I saw that had like the similar twist where like there's someone in the movie, and you don't know they're not real until the very end.
Fight Club.
No, it was like a Nicholas Sparks movie, chick movie.
God.
Safe Haven. It was Safe Haven.
All right, yeah.
Did you know? Do you remember that old show, The OC? Did you ever watch that?
What was
That's
it?
probably your era, right? The OC. It was an old show on Fox. Teen.
No.
Wait,
Kinda
he
like
probably
Naruto.
was still too young to
He was
watch
only
the
about
OC.
8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was still
That
probably
girl
watching
is in that
2003.
movie in The Sixth Sense. She's the girl that throws up. What's her name?
I only watched
forget.
it once and I got lost early, so it was no recovery for me. But I don't understand things when I'm at the movies. It's got to be pretty basic.
Give us another one.
So we didn't do this on movie night, but we went and watched Han Solo. I love that
I
movie.
liked that.
movie's, so the new Star Wars that's coming out, like the series, so like the two that are supposed to go with the other trilogies, garbage. But the two standalone movies that Disney's made, Rogue One and Han Solo,
Rogue One was
great.
the best, I think.
Rogue One was really good, and then the Han Solo one got me in my feels a little bit, so that's why I liked it.
His
That's
blood
what
is
I'm talking
boiling
about.
right now, so we gotta change the subject.
Yeah.
You don't like Star Wars?
No,
I don't like Pulp Fiction.
I'm not a big sci-fi guy or whatever.
That's the only Star Wars is the only sci-fi I like, really. I don't like Harry Potter or
Well, I've
Star
become
Trek or anything
stubborn
like
when
that.
it comes to it. Like, I probably should have given it a chance, but because everyone tells me, "What are you crazy?" I'm just
Wait, so
standing
you don't like
firm.
sci-fi? You don't like Fifth Element?
I
didn't
don't
like
think
that?
I've ever seen that.
What?
Yeah, you have. You have. And
You
actually,
have
you
to
did like
like
it.
Fifth Element.
It's the one with Bruce
Mia
Willis
Schmishma?
and Chris Tucker.
I don't know how to say her last
I
name.
don't remember stuff.
If you just type it in and just see a picture of it, I
Fifth
know
Element,
you
maybe,
saw it.
maybe.
I know you liked it. Had
Fifth
Gary
Element
Oldman.
is a bomb.
It was cool. It was. I liked it, but looking back, it was pretty crazy.
It's
you would
awesome.
probably have that. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, 100%.
I like action adventure. I love stuff that's based on a true story. I like comedies. I like a lot
top
of
three.
gangster stuff.
What's your top three?
No, well, yeah. I mean, that's probably up there. But like Goodfellas, for example.
Okay.
Don't shit on it.
I ain't.
Okay.
So many people have been telling me to watch that lately.
Casino.
And that one.
You ever
And
seen that
Casino.
Look at this young crop.
I literally, I just had a conversation yesterday. The person I was
So
talking
even you
about, the
haven't seen
two were
Casino.
Goodfellas and Casino. No, I haven't seen either of them. I have
Okay.
Goodfellas. I haven't opened it yet.
Goodfellas, Casino, Bronx Tale, Scarface. You ever seen that?
I've seen it,
These
but
are
I was
just
younger.
classics.
I was younger when I watched it.
If you
so I
watch
don't
it, you'll go,
I can't recall it.
you know, why would he do this? Why would he say that? Because everything's more modernized now, and I get that part, you know. But these are just classics, and so I guess because they were classics when I was growing up, I became more into the mob movie stuff. That's why I like Narcos on Netflix. You ever seen that?
I haven't seen it. My little brother was watching it a few weeks ago, and I just saw him watching it. But no, it's hard for me to get in the shows. Sometimes I've only gotten to a couple.
Yeah, I couldn't get into the Harry Potters or any of that stuff.
I'm not.
I love
just
Harry
Star Wars
Potter.
for me. Just Star Wars for me.
Harry Potter is cool.
Yeah, I watch that. That's what I watch when I'm cleaning my house. Is I put on Harry Potter. I love it.
Getting some more in the chat here. Aloha, Martin from Hawaii. Awesome to see Jessie just in studio. She's fun and cool. Great guest since the first time she was in studio.
Thanks.
All right. Max, can you share a good street fight story with us?
Street fight story.
I ask all the in-studio guests. I'm not just singling you out.
So, like, on the street, or
What other street would it be?
in the wrestling room where you're really supposed to fight?
Give me one of each.
All right, so I'm not going to say names or who it was or what my relationship was to them, but when I was younger, I was in an argument with someone.
What age?
I was probably like 16.
Okay. So
probably
in high
16.
school?
Yeah.
A couple years back.
Yeah, just a few years back. Yeah. I was about 16 or 17. What was weird about it was so I was in a back brace because I broke my back in high school.
How'd you do that?
Stress fracture. They said I was training too hard and not resting enough, and I developed a stress fracture. It's called Parr's defect or whatever. But I was just like in the end of that. Like I was in my back brace, but I was still like it didn't hurt or anything. So it was like towards the end of it, and I was somewhere and I was arguing with someone, and long story short, they pulled a gun. Pulled a gun on me and pointed it at my face. And
in high school?
Yeah.
In the wrestling room?
Not in the wrestling room. No. This is
story,
separate.
Right?
This is not a lot of people know about this and stuff, but pulled a gun on me, got it away from him.
What you guys were arguing about?
I can't remember.
Okay.
I can't remember. And I don't want to like say who it is or whatever, but
you don't want to have problems when you go back.
Yeah. But ended up basically said he was going to shoot me and kill me, and I just with my background and stuff like that, I just didn't settle well with me. Kind of lost a little bit of control. And then,
how close were they when they had the gun?
Pretty far away, and then I ended up getting closer.
Were they holding it like this or like this?
It was a shotgun.
Oh, it was a shotgun?
Yeah.
In high school?
Yeah, and then
wow, they don't play in Ohio.
And then ended up getting closer to him and got it away, and I beat the living tar out of the kid, and then ended up going to got the cops called on me, went to put me in the cop car. I was in trouble.
Should have been signed, sealed, and delivered. Self-defense if I ever heard of it.
Yeah, it didn't. Long story short, but that's probably the craziest one. I'm not a super.
What was the move, by the way? If I'm the guy, am I holding it right?
Yeah, it'd be like kind of like right here, but then up.
Right, and then you.
But I don't even know if he was serious about shooting me. To be honest, I got close, like grabbed it, turned it,
gotcha,
and that was it. And they ended up. I don't even know if he
was
still. Yeah.
Damn, you're a gangster.
But long story short, kind of just beat the fucking shit out of him, and then I was the one that ended up getting in trouble pretty much. I had to go to court and stuff, and then I didn't want colleges and stuff to figure out that I was going to court for stuff like that, and I think it was some kind of felony charge that they were trying to put on me. I ended up getting completely put away and stuff like that, just because in a small town, everyone knows your dirty laundry, and so even like the judge in the court knew my dirty laundry, knew like my family background and stuff. So they're like, all right, we're gonna give this guy a chance. He's gonna go wrestle in college. He's gonna get out of this place and go make a name for himself eventually. So we just gotta give him a chance and try to not ruin it forever.
Did the other guy get in trouble for having a gun on school property, for pointing it at someone, for threatening somebody? That just gets.
It wasn't on school. It wasn't on school property either. It was at home, but then then another one, and it's also I'm not a super. I got a couple fights in high school, but not anything serious. And it's like even now, it's like if I'm out, and I don't go out a whole lot. If I'm out on the street or someone's picking a fight with me, I'm to the point now where it's like you can try to hit me, you can try to beat my ass or whatever. I'm gonna run away. The best self-defense is track and field. It's not jiu-jitsu. It's not all this other stuff. It's track and field. You just turn and run.
Just not worth your time.
It's not worth. Yeah, because
you already know you're tough. So
I already know I'm gonna whoop someone's ass. I don't gotta prove it to some random person who doesn't even train. But then that's when I kind of learned that was when I was in college in the wrestling room. Someone was lippy, just kind of mouthed off to me. I don't know what it was. I was cutting weight, probably had issues with my girlfriend at the time or something. I was just kind of pissed off coming into practice. He was lippy, grabbed me, went over, touched me by the chest like this. I went over his arm, elbowed him twice, and then dropped. He had to get a ton of stitches and stuff, and then it got out of the wrestling room. Normally fights don't leave the wrestling room, but for whatever reason that one got out of the wrestling room. The AD found out about it, and they were trying to kick me out of school and stuff. So that was hard for me because at the time it was all I wanted to do was wrestle. So if you were going to take that away from me, it was going to crush me.
Wow.
So ever since then we worked through that with the school and stuff, and I didn't get kicked out, but ever since then I'm just I don't have any outside of in the cage. I'm not fighting anyone.
Here in Vegas, anybody cut you off, give you the finger, or?
Oh yeah.
For some reason,
a ton. Yeah.
Road rage is bad here. I don't get that a lot.
Road rage is bad here.
But others do, and I'm just wondering if I just don't see it, or I could care less, or what. But
so I just got a haircut, and when my hair is long, you can't see my ears. You can't see my ears.
Okay.
But I think when they're when it's nice and shaved and you see how bad my ears are, people tend to leave me alone a little bit.
Mm-hmm. What happened though in this incident?
So basically, in the road rage one.
Yeah.
Oh, I've just had like several people just like pull up to me and like flip me off, flip me the bird, like say, fuck you, all this other stuff.
I don't know.
Do you? Really?
It doesn't happen a whole lot, but I'm just like.
Maybe it's that second look I'm not giving them. Because, look, if I cut someone off, I don't look to go, yeah, bitch. And if someone does it to me, I don't catch them and then give them the look. I just like, whatever.
Cuts me off, I'm like, oh, whatever. It's like, I don't want to waste my energy on that. It's like.
Can I give my theory?
What? No, I've never had any incidents. No.
Can I give a theory?
Yeah.
And Dan, both of you guys have to be completely honest about it. Is it because we're just good drivers?
Yeah, you
very well.
That's what I'm going to say.
Be that?
If very
we're
well.
Good drivers? Yeah? Okay.
Hyper-vigilant is the word I use. I'm very hyper-vigilant driver,
I don't know what it is. Maybe I just look like someone that they probably think
Maybe
that they
it's
can beat
your
my
car,
ass.
Max.
Maybe they think you're pile.
Yeah, so I drive
His
a brown Kia Soul with Star Wars stickers on the back. So and it's like I just look like a skinny little nerdy white kid sometimes. So it's like I'm like a. Well, that kid looks like a dork. I'm gonna whoop his ass.
That's funny. All right, let me ask you guys a question here about UFC 228. Tyron Woodley is defending against Darren Till. Darren Till didn't make weight in his last fight when he fought Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. So, for one, you know, it's a whole other conversation should he have even gotten the title shot. But because Colby Covington wasn't ready to go and they needed a headliner for this event, they decided to give Darren Till a chance. So, I'll bring him up to speed. Woodley was asked, hey, what happens if Till doesn't fight? Because the rumor is, and now it's actually a fact, Kamaru Usman's training, and if he makes weight, he'll be ready to go. The UFC's paying him to do that, and Kamaru Usman would step in not only if Till didn't make weight, but even if something would happen to Woodley. But Woodley said he wouldn't fight him. What do you think of that? Do you stand with the champion and feel like he's got a point, or should the champion be ready to take anybody, thereby taking the Usman fight?
So I've heard Woodley come out and say that he wouldn't take that.
He said he would fight Till even if Till didn't make weight, even before a fight, because it's a whole different skill set.
Whole different skill set, but to me, especially so Woodley versus Usman, they're kind of similar. And if I was Woodley, I would have more confidence in fighting like an Usman, someone who like has a similar style to me, but I'm just gonna be better than him at that. I think Till poses a lot more problems for Woodley. So it's like you're training for a harder fight. It's like if you don't, if Till's not gonna fight or whatever, you should fight Usman. And I think that's what the champion should do, is fight all comers. Like, are you the best in the world against everyone? Yes or no? And if he just says no, then you're just telling us all you're not the best in the world.
How about you, Jess?
One, I think Kamaru should have gotten the title fight before Till in the first place. Two, one of the reasons why I'm such a big fan of Tyron is because he is so intelligent. With him, like, he may not be the most entertaining fighter, but he's like GSP. Wasn't the most entertaining fighter, but was really, really intelligent and does what he has to do to win, you know? So I understand why he said he wouldn't fight Kamaru on 24 hours notice, because he's not an idiot. Like, I think Till is a lot rawer than Kamaru is.
But he's got more fights, like almost twice as much.
Yeah, but he's a striker, and honestly, like, you saw his fight with Wonderboy. Tyron's fought Wonderboy already. Like, I don't think he presents as much problems. I don't think he's as versatile as what Kamaru is. I think Kamaru and Woodley is going to be a fantastic fight, you know. But I do agree with what he said with that's a fight that he needs to prepare for, you know, because it is a very different fight. Like, it's easier to prepare for 12 weeks for someone who's clearly going to stand and strike with you. You know what I mean? Like, there's not really any danger of Till trying to take Woodley down. There's not really any danger of Till trying to grapple with Woodley. Whereas with Kamaru, it's the complete opposite, you know?
So I'll put you in the exact spot. If you were the champ and you were fighting Valentina, and she's had her weight issues in the past, and the backup is Montana, would you also refuse then?
No, because that's different. Because I wouldn't consider... Kamaru presents a lot more problems. He is a higher risk fight than taking someone who's 4-2. It's a different circumstance. If it was, say if I was a champion, I was fighting Valentina and she pulled out, and then my alternative was Joanna, then no, I probably wouldn't take it. you know, because Joanna is a gangster as well. Kamaru, like, we've seen what he's been doing in his last few fights. Like, we've seen the bashing he's been putting on everyone. He's a grinding, gritty fighter. I support Tyron in his decision. You know, Tyron's getting paid either way. Like, why does he need to put that at risk?
He's not getting paid his pay-per-view points, though, I don't believe.
No, he won't, but he's still making a lot of money, you know, and he has so many side gigs that he's not even really relying on his UFC money anymore.
That's the thing, is how much is he getting paid? Because he gets paid a show money, and then he gets pay-per-view points. But I guess if he elects not to fight, I wonder, you know, and I wonder how the UFC is going to handle this too. Yeah. Now, that said, I think Till's probably on point to make weight.
Well,
he's taking it pretty serious. He's relocated. He's got a personal chef. So
yeah, I think Till's definitely gone about this camp the right way. And you can see every time you see him, every time you hear him speak, like, this is all there is for him, you know. So I don't think he's going to miss weight. And it's going to make me sad knowing how much effort, because I talk to Kamaru every couple of days. He's one of my friends, you know, and it makes me sad knowing how much effort and time he's been putting into
for both.
this. Yeah, and he's not going to get either, you know, but he's still getting paid to be there, so oh well.
Yeah. I'm going to say something that a lot of people probably aren't going to like, but I'm going to co-sign on a lot of what you said, but I also want to throw in the fact that the UFC has been very public. They haven't come out and said it, but their actions have shown that they're just not happy with Tyron Woodley as the champion. And if I'm Tyron Woodley, I know that if I put a risk out, if I take a risk and it doesn't go my way, my road to the title is probably going to be a nightmare going back, because 100%. They don't want me to be there. Okay? And I think that's part of his decision and his thought process. I think had they treated him better, maybe he would have taken that chance. And you're right. He has every right to say no, because it is a crazy difference in matchup for him. But I think the way he's been treated, and I think now you can go back, and sometimes when we say, do you like when Dana White's really vocal and this and that, this is an instance where you could say it came back and bit him in the ass, because had he maybe not been so public and try and shame his champion like that, maybe he wouldn't have those feelings, and maybe he would be more willing to do something like this. But because of that treatment that he's received, I think that's part of the reason why he isn't willing to take that risk.
I agree with that 100%, because why would he try and save the card when they've kind of fucked him in a lot of ways, you know?
Yeah. Well, let's see. I mean, in 24 hours, we'll find out what the deal is. Let's go to a break. You're listening to MMA Junkie Radio on Fight Nation Channel 83. Stay close. We'll be right back. Oh, no, he didn't.
I don't know why, but I feel like being called a plain potato would hurt more than like, motherfucker.
You puny it's way more intimidating.
It would make me say, I'm not a potato.
Here are your hosts, Gorgeous George and Goes.
Fantasy football season starts tonight, and Fantasy Sports Radio is helping you win. Listen to the best fantasy football experts analyze tonight's Eagles-Falcons game and all of this week's matchups from the fantasy football perspective. Find out which players you need to start in your lineup and hear the latest news and injury information. Plus, weather alerts, interviews with the people closest to the game. It's non-stop fantasy football talk 24 hours a day on Fantasy Sports Radio, Series 210 XM87, streaming on your phone or at home on connected devices and speakers. All right, guys. It's time to do the daily debate. We got a couple fighters here to help us out with this. Y'all ready for this?
Let's do it.
All right, here we go. Today's question is, of the 4 women's fights at UFC 228, 3 feature heavy underdogs. Which of those 3 has the best chance at an upset? So I'll give you the matchup here. It's either Karolina Kowalkiewicz versus Jessica Andrade, Carla Esparza versus Tatiana Suarez, or Nico Montano versus Valentina Shevchenko. You go first.
Between Carolina and Carla, but I feel like if Carolina were to do what I think she has to do to be successful in this fight, and that's keep distance, do all that stuff, I still think I would be nervous about that. Where if Carla were to do what she needs to do to win this fight, and that's get it to the ground, I think she would have a more solid shot. So I'm going to go with Carla Esparza.
All right, Jesse?
I was going to say exactly the same thing.
All right.
Yeah.
You think Carla Esparza has the best chance out of all of them?
100%.
Max, how about you?
Probably Carolina. I think Carolina, especially
she can
with
stop that tornado that we know is Jessica Andrade.
I think her clinch works.
I think he just thinks she's cute.
She is super cute, but I think Carolina, her clinch work against someone who's coming forward like that, and someone who I don't see as someone who's a smart fighter. I don't think she's going to be able to take. I don't think she's going to take her out. I think Jessica Andrade is probably going to have to take her down, hold her down, and submit her, and I don't think that's going to happen.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I'm with you two. I think Esparza has the best chance at the upset over Tatiana Suarez. And that said, I think Tatiana Suarez is amazing, honestly. But I think Nico Montano would be my number 2. I really think that of all of them, Carolina, who is dreamy, I'm with you. I just don't. I think she's going to get ragdolled, man. I think because Jessica Andrade is just amazing. Once she gets her paws on you, I mean, you go flying in the air. And I know, Carolina's athletic. And she's got some hands, but I don't see her having those type of quick feet that she can just stay away from Andrade. And Andrade has this motor too.
I thought Joanna JJ was gonna get ragdolled by her and another Brazilian black belt.
Gadelha?
Yeah, Gadelha. I thought she was gonna get ragdolled by both of them. And I think Carolina has a similar style, and it's smarter, and she's just as good as JJ, and she beat both of them, so I think that's how I'm thinking about it. I think she's going to be able to beat them the same way that Joanna did.
All right. The listeners and the readers, let me tell you how they voted. 61% agreed with Max. Karolina Kowalkiewicz at plus 325 has the best chance at an upset. 27% agreed with Jess, Goes and I, that Carla Esparza at plus 400 has the best chance, and only 12% voted for Nico Montana, who's up to plus 850. Depending on where you shop, I got plus 900 here at the MGM Resorts, here at Mandalay Bay. But these lines are moving everywhere, so I always tell people shop for the best odds. There you have it. There's today's daily debate, brought to you by the MMA Junkie Radio team. And Max and Jesse, thank you very much for participating. All right. These Vegemites.
Oh, yeah, we doing it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do this, yeah?
We got to set up for that, though.
Oh, we do?
Yeah, we got to grab some stuff.
Do you need commercial time for that?
Yeah, take one more break.
All right, we'll take our last break. That way we'll coast all the way to the finish line. And then when we come back, we will try the... Do we call it a sandwich?
No, we're having it on crackers.
Okay, Vegemite on crackers.
Yeah.
All right, got it. Say that again.
We're having it on crackers.
Yeah, that sounded really nice. All right, folks. It's MMA Junkie Radio on Fight Nation Channel 93. Stay close. We'll be right back.
Will be a lot better. Here are Gorgeous and Goes.
All right, we're back, and we're coming down the home stretch of another fine edition of MMA Junkie Radio. We broadcast live from the Mandalay Bay Race and Sportsbook. Stop on by and pay us a visit if you're ever in town for business or pleasure. Also, we have Jessie Jess here, who is going to turn into a chef because she's preparing some crackers. And on these crackers will be the Vegemite that we hear a lot about from our friends down under.
Love
Jessie,
Vegemite.
again, what is Vegemite?
It's a B vitamin yeast spread. It's just salty.
Okay.
Salty and amazing is what it is.
All right. Is your diet strict, Max? Are you okay on weight? Are you going to partake?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm going to partake.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't eat my first snack so that I could have some of these today.
Nice. All right. So, and then the crackers is just a normal cracker, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is there something on the cracker too, or?
Yeah, it's butter. So we got a little bit of butter, Vegemite. I feel like this is my own cooking show. Some sharp cheddar from Wisconsin.
Okay. And what does this go with, like wine or any particular drink?
It's like a breakfast food.
Oh, it's a breakfast food.
Yeah. So I have Vegemite on toast every breakfast.
Danny, shouldn't you be playing Men at Work or something if she does this?
Oh, dude.
I was told explicitly not to play that song.
Oh.
When I pulled it down to put it in, I was like, hey, Jess is coming in.
It's fine. I'm used to it.
Oh, okay.
It's like if they played La Cucaracha for you.
I got
but they do talk about Vegemite sandwiches in that
They
song.
do. That's why. That's why I remember hearing about it.
Literally haven't heard
so
of it
all it is
right now.
Yeah, all it is just, it looks like jelly from here.
It's absolutely not jelly. I'm going to tell you that right now.
And how popular is this? Is this what most families have in Australia in the morning?
Well, I don't know. Like, I eat it. I don't know how many other families eat it. Like, it's popular. There's a British version as well called Marmite. There's another one called Promite. Those ones are all terrible. This one's good. But, like, one of my housemates really liked it. One of them didn't. It kind of... I think it's an acquired taste for sure.
All right. Goes, can you get us some waters?
Good.
All
I
right.
need another knife.
Good thinking, George.
Yeah, we don't know how this is going to go down.
Salty's definitely been the key word I've been getting on Twitter.
It is salty.
Okay.
Yeah, it's salty. And so it's really good with, like, tomato or avocado.
Okay.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Max, in the meantime, tell us a little bit about Igor Santos. What kind of a fighter is he? Is he a grappler? Is he a striker?
As far as I know, he's a BJJ black belt. 31. He 2-1 as a pro. Both wins by guillotine, lost by TKO. Don't know too much about him. Not really too worried. Not
and
too
your
concerned.
jiu-jitsu, what level is it?
So I'm technically a blue belt,
Okay.
but I kind of get everyone kind of gives me shit.
Oh, you're a
at the gym.
sandbagger.
Yeah, they say I'm a sandbagger, but it's like, in my defense, I've only been training the gi for a year and a half.
Gotcha. And
so I'm a blue belt in the gi. The only reason they gave me my blue belt was because I wanted to compete in IBJJF, and because of my wrestling background, I'm not allowed to compete as a white belt, and I didn't need to compete as a white belt anyway. But so got promoted to blue belt, and IBJJF standards is 2 years blue belt. So it hasn't been 2 years yet, so I'm not gonna like.
You hold your own against blue belts and purple belts?
I hold my own against everybody.
I've seen him hold his own against way higher people than that.
Even brown belts. Brown belts are pussies still, right?
So it's just because of my coaching. So one, because of my wrestling background.
Hey, Juan Lee, I'm kidding. Did you catch that? Juan Lee's a brown belt. That's what I was like.
Because of my wrestling background and because of the coaching that I got when I first started doing jiu-jitsu, I can compete at a high level against any belt.
Okay.
I just have my fundamentals are super sound, and then obviously my background with wrestling helps. But it's like I can pull guard and sweep brown black belts and get on top and do my thing.
Gotcha.
But it's like I'll pull guard. I'll do all that stuff. I'm not always about the takedown.
What's the stereotype, right? Of like they'll say like a blue belt is like a landing pad for a strong wrestler. Maybe that's why you're getting crap for sandbagging, right? Because a lot of strong wrestlers that come in, you'll see in grappling. They'll maybe get the blue belt for a little bit, and because they're really at a purple belt level, because they're probably already giving hell to the brown belts and even the black belts, depending on where their defense is, right? And that's what you're talking about. So that being able to just grow off that. I can only imagine. I haven't been in Extreme Couture lately, but I've heard good things, my friend.
No, I'm super lucky that my first coaches, so wrestling's go, go, go. It's always hard. Jiu-jitsu is a little different. You have to be more technical. And for like 6 months, they were just like, Max, stop going so hard. Be more technical. I want you to just be more technical. I was like, that's all they would tell me. They'd be like, be more technical. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. I want to squeeze. And then it's just like, now, a year and a half later, is like I'm able, like I teach at Couture's, and it's like I do privates and stuff, and I feel like I'm doing that now because I actually truly understand. I'm able to get across what the art of jiu-jitsu is to other people, and they can see it. Like, it's super cool to come in and teach, and then stuff that I show is super basic, but it works for people right away.
Do you have a top game similar to Caraway? Is that what they mean? That you're very, like, violent and everything's...
I picture this guy like Chandler in a lot of ways. A lot of comparisons coming to me.
Yeah, so I really don't think anyone has a top game like me, but a similar comparison would be a Brian Caraway.
Oh, okay, nice. Very nice.
Definitely not like a Khabib or like a super wrestler that just stays in half guard and punches. Like I'll go. I like to pass. I'm gonna stand up and pass. Take the back. My back control is solid. That's probably my best position.
On par with Kevin Lee.
My back control is better than Kevin Lee.
Wow, I don't like that.
I hope he hears me say that, but yeah, no. But his back control and my back control are completely different.
Yeah.
He has that really good body triangle, and I go figure four up on the hip with one leg in, which is in it's called the truck position in 10th Planet, but I don't even know. I started doing that in wrestling, and that was my thing. Like in wrestling, is I wasn't like a big takedown guy. Honestly, if I would have had a good takedown and I was good on my feet, I probably would have actually competed to be a national champion. But like I was a guy. I don't know how much you guys know about wrestling. There's like the you choose neutral, down, or bottom.
Yeah.
I was always choosing top. No one was choosing bottom on me because when I'm on top of guys, they're not getting away unless I let them up. So that's kind of just like my thing.
Sorry, real quick, you're talking about that single that figure four ride where you're not figure four around the whole body like you see most guys.
Yeah, that's
just a single leg.
Kevin's great at that. He's had me in it.
Yeah.
And then it's tough. His squeeze is good, but mine's figure four on the leg. But the little thing that doesn't a lot of people don't do, so they do the figure four like down at the knee,
right,
or down on the quad. I put my heel up in their crotch and then lock my figure four, and it locks the hip out.
Nice.
It literally it takes a little bit. It takes a long time to be able to get to that spot, but now I get there so easily now. It's easy, but it's just it's a variation that a lot of people do, and it locks it down.
I haven't seen very many coaches teach it
that
that way.
Relays. You know what I'm talking about, the relays.
Yes.
Like like a lockdown from on top though on the back. That's what it is. It's tough to get out of.
All right, we gotta partake in the Vegemite here, and we also got a couple calls. So first of all, good luck against Igor Santos. Thanks for stopping by, and because you're a local, man, we'd love to have you on more often if you're down.
Love to be
chat
on
movies and stuff. Well, maybe music, not movies. Movies isn't your thing, clearly, but music and pop culture and things like that.
Yeah, whenever. I'd love to come in and talk to Junkie Nation whenever you guys will have me on.
Right on. All right, so here we go. Jesse, this is your creation.
Excited.
Goes.
Just passing it around.
Okay, if you don't like it, it's not my fault. It's a national treasure.
Okay.
We're taking.
Here you go, Dan.
Thank you.
Just put the whole
Juan
thing
Lee, would you like one?
There's enough.
Sorry, but I know you're juggling it.
Hey, watch these guys. Have you gone yet, Goes?
Take one. All right. Yeah, I'll leave the plate over here. Everyone has one?
Max is into his so far. What do you
I
think?
want one.
Oh, you haven't had one
you
yet?
made
No.
it.
Oh.
I'll let you guys go first.
It's all good. I'll set the plate down here and you can grab one.
Be a straight shooter like you were with Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, I fuck with this.
Yeah?
You like it? Yes, that's one.
Goes? Good?
2.
Okay. How about you guys? I'm going to be the Russian judge, I think. But we'll see. I might like it. How do you like it, Dan?
Definitely salty. I can see it going well with the tomato. I'm gonna give it a passing grade, but I'll give it like a 6 out of 10.
I'll take it.
Thank you. Very well done.
I don't really taste too much here. The cheese is kind of masking it.
I like cheese and salty stuff,
Thanks,
so
buddy.
it's perfect. Yeah.
I'll get you one over here. Can you pass the plate and give Wanley one over here?
We just had one. Oh, you want the other one? Okay. So he really liked it then.
All right.
I'm down.
Down for another one?
No, I'm down. Like, this is pretty good.
Is Sportsbook Matt around? We can feed him that last one.
Would you usually apply more, or is that about the right amount?
No. And that's where Americans always fuck up. Or like usually if an Aussie gives one to their American friends, they'll layer it on real thick. But no, the trick is to just stain the bread or the cracker with it.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, I think a lot of cultures have that food where we get, demonized for it, but it's like our staple.
Yeah.
But then also it's like, okay, I get it. It might not be the most appetizing, but hey, go easy on it. A lot of times you people mess it up. I'm talking about, as a Hawaiian, I'm talking about Spam, of course.
Yeah.
Because most Americans will cut it off raw, like straight out of the can and put it in a sandwich. I'm like, no, you gotta fry it, put some teriyaki sauce on there, dress it up.
Yeah.
I don't even eat that stuff, like the slimy mold and congealed form that it comes out at.
We're gonna take a couple calls here to finish up the show. This one's Melissa from North Carolina. Hello, Melissa.
Oh.
Hi.
Jesse.
Hello.
My question is for you. Seeing how your fight with Andrea Lee was just announced yesterday.
Yeah.
And the Twitter MMA community is already up in arms and drama and speculation regarding the fight, which I don't think is fair to either you nor her, about what she's went through. What are your opinions on them saying too much is on her mind and, not really giving you any credit if you win the fight? And if you win the fight, then it's because she didn't win.
Yeah, but, so I actually spoke to someone about this yesterday, and having been through a very similar domestic violence situation, I know personally, I fought immediately because I needed something to put my energy into. I needed something that I loved to kind of take my mind off everything that had happened, and that's how I feel about her. I do think it's unfair that so many people are saying, that it's not the right time for her, that she shouldn't be focusing on a fight, but what would you rather she did? Would you rather she sat at home and focused on her husband beating her up? Because I think that's very toxic. I don't think that's healthy for her at all, So, whilst when I got offered the matchup with her to start with, I was like, oh, is she going to be ready for it? And then I thought back to my own situation and how I felt when everything happened, and I 100% think that this is the best thing for her, And Andrea is an incredible fighter. She's someone that I've wanted to fight for a very long time. I think it's very unfortunate that she had to go through what she went through, but I do think that she's going about it the right way by giving herself something really positive to focus on, something positive to dedicate her life for. She's got a guaranteed income coming in December. So, yeah, I think people need to give her a lot more credit than what they are right now.
Thank you, Melissa, for the call. Let's go to Showtime in Tennessee. What's up, Showtime? It's yo time.
Hey, what's going on, fellas?
What's up, brother?
Can y'all hear me better now?
Yep, you got to make it quick, though. We got about 90 seconds.
Okay. Hey, man, I just think there's going to be a lot of upsets, man, on this new card, man. I actually like Catalina. I like her odds against Andrade. Think about who beat Andrade up was the Joanna champion with her just marching straight ahead, sticking and moving. So I'm going to drop some money on some dogs. And,
I just got a text from the Mandalay Bay Racing Sportsbook. They want your address because they want to send a limo for you.
Yeah, they're going to send one. I'm going to be laughing when I come to the gather.
Okay. Okay.
All right, guys.
All right. Thanks for the call, Showtime. All right. I want to thank Max Rohskopf. He'll be fighting in Fresno next week. No, 3 weeks from now.
Yep.
Right. And then Jessica just signed on to fight Andrea Lee. Thank you very much for coming by and co-hosting. Always a blast with you. Tomorrow we have CM Punk, Ray Longo, and comedian Joey Diaz. All of them will be via the phone. And then can we announce Monday yet or not yet? Not yet. Okay. All right. Monday we have a good show planned as well. So for Jessica and Max and Danny and Goes and Juan Lee and Danny back east, I'm George. Have a nice day. Go out there and be a champion.